Let's welcome in actor, director, founder, and CEO of Sunline Records, Robert Davi, back with us. Good to see you again, Robert. So the House said yesterday they're going to move forward with contempt proceedings, which is pretty unbelievable. However, Daddy controls the Department of Justice, and Daddy is like Geppetto, you know, when it comes to Merrick Garland pulling the strings. Do you expect Garland to move forward and actually prosecute the first son here?
Well, I expect something to happen because it's between him, Nadler, Ruskin, and Schiff, and the rest of the Democratic Party that are bamboozling the American people, that want to say that the Republican GOP is not following democracy and the rest of it. The blatant, seditious behavior of one side of the House, and now the disruption of an investigation that Congress, you know, when I grew up, and I think most of us were like that in America, we held Congress and we held our Constitution in high esteem.
Totally.
Now we have a group of people that have no care about the Constitution, and we have a defiance of it. We have someone hiding behind. Now, I'm all sensitive. I directed the film My Son Hunter. A lot of research on his addiction. I did not demonize the addiction. But for him to use that, and for him to, and the American people, I want the American people to think of something. If you have a child, and if you're on a plane ride with your child for 17 hours to China or anywhere else in the world, you mean to tell me you're not going to say who you're meeting with this week?
Yeah.
You're not going to have any knowledge at all as a father?
It's absurd,
who's
isn't it?
a
It's
loving
totally
father?
absurd.
Yeah, we all have kids. That's a conversation that when my kids get a job, I think I'm going to talk to them about how
I got a
it's work.
5-year-old. I talked to him about it.
What's going on? We talk about school. It's just, it's unbelievable. You know, Robert, you mentioned that you covered Hunter Biden life closely through your movie, My Son Hunter, which is interesting to me when I heard him speak yesterday. Everything he said that was happening to him actually happened to President Trump. And then you also brought up that, you know, we continue to hear the White House talk about his addiction and how, you know, President has a love for his son, which of course every parent does. But how much can they continue to keep using his addiction in excuses here?
I have to take the blame for them using that strategy, because when the film My Son Hunter came out 2 years ago, I said, and I said it prior when we were filming, I did not want to demonize addiction because many families suffer from someone who has addiction. And I didn't want, that wasn't the issue. The issue was a father letting his son be an addict and using his son with around the world with some of the greatest leaders on. So yeah, it's a strategy that the Democrats are very smart. They picked up on it because even the reviews of the film, they said, oh, he didn't demonize the drug addiction. They realized that that could touch a chord in the American people, because it does. Because look at the fentanyl thing and people dying of addiction. So they say, oh, the poor kid. And this is the whole Biden campaign. He's for 50 years been a backslapping politician, a baloney, you know, backslapping
you're
politician.
Right. You're right. He has been. He's just quickly. You're an actor, and a lot of people know you from the movies that you've done. Yesterday, if you asked me,
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Yes, this was kind of performance theater yesterday. You know, Hunter was out there gaslighting the American people, but just from sort of, you know, that perspective, the performance that this whole thing has become, and the message that the Democrats are trying to propagate this morning. What do you make of that? And do you think it's actually hitting home with the people watching right now, or do they see right through this?
I think they have to be told to see right through it, because you have a very strong messaging arm of the Democratic Party. They are controlled by Hollywood, the messaging.
Right.
You've got the best directors and writers and actors telling them the messaging. They went to Hollywood to have the big fundraiser. We talked about that last week.
Right.
You think it's just a fundraiser they're getting? They're getting strategies. Now, when I directed My Son Hunter in Serbia, guess who was in Serbia a month before the film we started shooting? The hotel comes up to me and says, guess who was here last month? In Serbia. Hunter Biden.
Wow.
Then,
No
while
surprise.
we were filming, his lawyers showed up on a private plane saying they're doing a documentary on Hunter, and they wanted to question us and talk to us.
Oh,
This is while we were filming.
Wow.
And they came on the set. So they're very, very savvy in terms of getting a message together.
Yeah.
Aeons above the GOP.
Apply a little pressure, right? Apply a little pressure. Robert,
absolutely.
appreciate you being back with us. Great insight.
Hey, thank you for
you.
having me.
Yeah.